खेलति मम हृदये रामः खेलति मम हृदये शान्तिविदेह सुता सहचारी शान्तिविदेह सुता सहचारी शान्तिविदेह सुता सहचारी शान्तिविदेह सुता सहचारी दहरायोध्या नगर विहारी दहरायोध्या नगर विहारी दहरायोध्या नगर विहारी दहरायोध्या नगर विहारी मोह महार्णव तारककारी मोह महार्णव तारककारी मोह महार्णव तारककारी मोह महार्णव तारककारी राग द्वेष मुखासुर मारी राग द्वेष मुखासुर मारी राग द्वेष मुखासुर मारी राग द्वेष मुखासुर मारी खेलति मम हृदये रामः खेलति मम हृदये खेलति मम हृदये रामः खेलति मम हृदये परमहंस साम्राज्योधारी परमहंस साम्राज्योधारी परमहंस साम्राज्योधारी परमहंस साम्राज्योधारी सत्यज्ञानानन्द शरीरी सत्यज्ञानानन्द शरीरी परमहंस साम्राज्योधारी परमहंस साम्राज्योधारी सत्यज्ञानानन्द शरीरी सत्यज्ञानानन्द शरीरी खेलति मम हृदये रामः खेलति मम हृदये खेलति मम हृदये रामः खेलति मम हृदये.
Very nice.
Shall I sing what Swamiji usually sings?
Yes.
After this he sings Jaya Raghunandana Jaya Jaya Rama Jaya Raghunandana Jaya Jaya Rama Jaya Jagat Janani Janaki Rama Jaya Jagat Janani Janaki Rama Nava Nava Komala मेघ श्यामा नव नव कोमल मेघ श्यामा भवहरणा भद्राचल रामा भवहरणा भद्राचल रामा दशरथ नंदन हे परंधामा दशरथ नंदन हे परंधामा दशमुख मर्दन श्री रघुरामा दशमुख मर्दन श्री रघुरामा मम हृदये.
Very nice. I'll just hold it. Okay?
No, it's okay. Sorry.
Okay.
There's,
I can hold it. You don't have to work so hard.
hey, Chris, how do you raise this?
Oh. See about that.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It's too high. Yeah, so we should actually go down. Yeah, there. That's much better.
Okay, so
Yes, perfect. Next time there are no questions, no satsang. It's okay. Yeah. That's what we do back home in Rishikesh. Yeah. So don't worry about what's the word for it? Manufacturing questions. We can do many things. We can just gather and just talk or whatever. So, can you talk about the point of realizing moksha as opposed to intellectually understanding moksha? It all seems to be it all seems to be in Ishvara's order. What is the point? Okay. Firstly, we have to see that there is no difference between an intellectual moksha and actual moksha. No such thing, because that knowledge is you. It's not Brahma Vidya, is not like a recipe book. In the recipe book, when you're hungry, what do you have to do? Read the recipe book. Is that going to fill your hunger? Not unless you eat the pages. So, so what do you have to do? You have to actually bring the ingredients. You have to cook it up, and then you have to follow the whole rules, whatever it says you have to do, and then it is ready to eat. Vedanta is not like that. There is no theory, there is no practice, because the subject matter of this knowledge is you. What kind of you? The you that is already Sat, already Chit, already Ananda. That is what it is. So there is nothing to first understand and then know, or first intellectually understand and then know. Because even if the person has never heard of Vedanta, still wants it, still wants and yearns for that oneness. Every researcher wants to be one with that topic of research, and that research topic is Ishvara, because every body of knowledge is Ishvara. Every branch of knowledge is Ishvara. So the researcher, with his or her favorite topic, is yearning for that oneness with Ishvara. The musician who wants to immerse in her or his notes is yearning to be one with Ishvara. The bhakta with the attitude of bhakti is yearning to merge into Ishvara, merge quote unquote. And the Vedantin who is studying about this is also doing the same because of that yearning. That yearning is already built in. It is not a calculated or a cultivated desire. It's already there. And that yearning is addressed through knowledge, because that yearning is for something that is already fulfilled. It's like the person who had a 6-course meal and went to sleep and then had a dream. What was the dream? Oh my God, I'm starving. That was the dream. This is the Upanishad example. And he started to cry in his sleep. Oh my God, please give me something to eat. And his wife must have, shaken him awake. And then after he woke up, what happened? Did he have to eat? No. What did he have to do? He had to know that he was already full. So this knowledge is also like that. Waking up from the nightmarish samsara, thinking oneself to be what one is not. So there is no theory, there is no practice. It is a discovery of a self that is already what it is. Okay. And then the second point of the question is that it seems to be in Ishvara's order. So ignorance is in Ishvara's order, and if ignorance is in Ishvara's order, what is that? If ignorance is in Ishvara's order, knowledge is also in Ishvara's order, is it not? Yeah. So, what is the point? The point is you lose sorrow. The whole point is you lose self-ignorance. That is the point. It's a very good thing. All right, yeah. Then, when Sri Krishna discusses Karma Yoga and Sannyasa, one is an ashrama and the other is a sadhana. It is a sadhana, correct, but it is connected to an ashrama, grihastha-ashrama, at least in Adi Shankara's mind. Further, it seems that we are comparing two distinct things. Can we understand Karma Yoga as described in chapter 3 as grihastha-ashrama versus sannyasa? Yes, we can do that. In the ancient times, that was how it was. That was exactly how it was. That you have a particular kind of an ashrama was associated with a particular kind of a sadhana. So Brahmacharya was associated with anuchanam, repeating after the teacher, study of the Veda, upanayanam, with the rite of passage to study the Veda. So Brahmacharya ashrama was what was the sadhana? Satya bhashanam, bhiksha atanam, and study. This was Brahmacharya. These are the sadhanas in Brahmacharya, not to tell a lie, not to sleep in the afternoon. This is all the child that promises. So yeah, when the Upanayana is done, there is so many vows the child is made to take. The child is made to say, I will not sleep in the afternoon henceforth, no more naps. And so like this is the sadhanas associated with Brahmacharya. The sadhana associated with Grihastha-ashrama is Karma Yoga. And what does Karma Yoga comprise? Karma Yoga comprises dhanam, giving out 5 kinds of yajnas. Atithi yajna, bhuta yajna, deva yajna, rishi yajna, manushya yajna, all these things, all the yajnas means sacrifice, taking care. We'll see this in the 3rd chapter. The 2nd topic is all about the various yajnas. And so that is the second part of the sadhana. Karma Yoga in general is a sadhana, bahiranga sadhana, but that has many components, and we have just listed a few. Rituals, all these things. Then Vanaprastha, the 3rd stage, what is the sadhana? Upasana is the sadhana. Antaranga sadhana, going in. The householder cannot meditate. It's difficult for the householder, at least the Vedic householder, to meditate, because if they sit to meditate, they only think of what they have not finished doing. That's all. So they may meditate a little bit because the yajna calls for them to meditate, but then in the life of the forest dweller, we have the sadhana called meditation. And for the sannyasa, what is the sadhana? Jnana, pursuing jnana. That should be the only sadhana, nothing else. So like this, ashramas and the sadhanas go side by side in tandem. Nice question. Then, Papa Punya help us to understand clearly. If going to temple gives you punya, why? Okay? Because at that time you're not robbing a bank or plotting to do so. No, seriously, that's what it is. Because that is where you are using the will freely. We talk a lot about free will, but is the will really free? Think about it. The will is bound in ragadveshas. The will is bound and tied up. It's free only in two situations, sad but true. One is when you do a reaching out action. You don't have to. Somebody is fallen down, you pick them up. You don't have to. They are not related to you. You can say, oh, I don't know you. Sorry. We don't share DNA. So, bye. You can say that. It's in your prerogative. You're not my child. I don't have to take you. You're not part of my family. You can say that. But there is some empathy, that there is a spuranam, there is a spandana, there is a kind of an empathy that gets activated. And you rush to this child or an elder who has fallen, and then you pick them up, even though you have nothing to do with them. There you made a choice, you see? And the will was not bound in ragadveshas. Why? Because you're not getting anything out of helping. At least that was not the motivation. Hopefully. That this person who has fallen down looks like a very rich person. And then if I help them, maybe I will be part of their will. That is not the thought. That is not the thought at all. The thought is they are suffering. They may have broken something. Are they having a concussion? Those are the thoughts. Should I call 911 first, or should I pick them up? What should I do? That is the thought. The thought is completely focused on them. It's not focused on oneself. And so, therefore, it becomes a punya karma. Because you have reached out. Similarly, giving dhanam. Dhanam means contributions, charity. To ashrams, to places of worship, to places of knowledge. You don't have to do that. You can say, okay, I'm putting it in the bank. It's for me. It's for my people, my loved ones. I don't have to do this, but you do it anyway. You go, you suppress that fear or that scarcity mentality and go out of the way to give. And it's a win-win situation, because you grow in real time, instant. What is that called? Drishtaphala. There is growth. Adrishtaphala, there is punya. That is why it's called punya. So going to the temple, you don't have to go to the temple. You don't have to pray. Nobody tells you pray. It's not part of the tradition also that tells you have to go on particular day. You have to go on Saturday, you have to go on Sunday. No such thing. You need not go. But you still go. Maybe your heart is filled with gratitude. Everything is going well. Let me just go and sit there and talk to Bhagavan. Or maybe there is some desire to get something. But you still go. But even that gives punya. Why? Because if that desire was there and it led you to go to Ishvara, then that means what? That means that there is a conversation happening. You need not go to Ishvara. You can say, Ishvara, who are you? I don't know. I'll seize whatever I want. I will do it on my own. But you're not doing that. That's why it is Punya Karma. Then there is another part. If not honoring human-made rules, like not stopping at the red light at 3 a.m. when no one is there, is that against dharma? Technically, yes. Yes, it is. Even if nobody is there, you have to slow down and look around. Even if you say, okay, 2 a.m., nobody is there. All right, but the other person coming from the other side also is thinking the same thing. Let's not forget that. They are also thinking, nobody is there. And then two bodies collide. Two bodies of the car collide because each one is thinking, I'm the only one on the road. So you have to be careful. And so technically, yes, that would be considered adharma. But if you proceed with caution and really make sure, that is the thing. And what are the different types of sannyasa? This is a fun question. Yeah. Types of sannyasa is not a comment on the types of sannyasis, okay? This is just types of sannyasa. So at the beginning we have what is called kuti chaka. Kuti means hut. Small modest dwelling is called kutir, kutiya, kuti. Kuti chaka means the one who lives in a small modest dwelling, where just in the backyard of their own family. So these are people who might have taken sannyasa at an advanced age. Or they have taken what is called, that is another type of sannyasa, 911 sannyasa, apat sannyasa, emergency sannyasa. So this 911 sannyasa is taken when one has a terminal illness or some such thing. Or at the end of one's life also one can take. Well, you don't need a guru, you don't need even clothes. You just have to say the mantra and then you become a sannyasi. That is the power of the mantra. And then, so now that one is an apat sannyasi, then they can't go and stay at home even though they are sick and they need care. So then usually the parents or the children will build a small, dwelling in the backyard or nearby, put the person there, take care of them. They are still a sannyasi. So this is two kinds of sannyasa. 911 sannyasa and what else? Kuti chaka sannyasa. Then there are people who are little more mobile and they go to places of pilgrimage and hang out there. Pilgrimage means what? People are doing dana. Annadana is there in every temple. When the pilgrims come, they want to give back, so they feed all the people in nearby, whoever needs, and the sadhus also, the sannyasi also joins. And so living around these kinds of pilgrimage sites assures the sannyasi of at least one meal a day. This is very nice, no problem. So you can get by. And these are called bahu udakas. Bahu means lot of water. So all these sites were in the area of lakes, ponds, ocean, rivers, various bodies of water. And so those are another kind of sannyasis. Then we have dandi sannyasis. Dandi sannyasis means those who hold a stick. And in that there are Tridandi sannyasis. 3 sticks they have to hold. And sometimes 1 stick they hold. What is the stick business? The stick is so that the ego doesn't stick to you. That's why there is a stick. At the time of sannyasa, 1 stick is gotten from somewhere, a bamboo, and then you, through the mantras, you transfer your ego onto the stick. So this is a way of saying, I am not the doer. I am not the doer, and the ego is transferred to the stick so that one can become akarta. So if 3 dandas are there, then each one stands for the various bodies, or 3 states, various bodies, so many things you can tell. This is the Dandi Sannyasi. Then we have Paramahamsa. Hamsa and Paramahamsa, not much difference between the two. Hamsa still has a few rules, does not carry the danda, or it's left up to them, they can carry the danda or not. And then Paramahamsa has no rules, has gone beyond all the rules. So like this, these are the types of sannyasis that are there. Nowadays, not many people know about it. If you want to read more about types of sannyasa, you can read this. I think it's the 2nd chapter of Jivan Mukti Viveka. Then, practical way to turn karma to yoga. That's what we are talking about. We talked all of today's, you please listen. We have talked about that at length. So, desire for moksha is hardwired, but a rare person exhibits karma's prarabdha. I don't understand this question. Whoever asked, you have to be a little more explicit. Ultimate truth as per Nirvana Shatkam. No moksha, no karma, no birth, no yoga to get there. No. It's not to get there. After having got there. This is a very important distinction. No birth, no death, no karma, no yoga, and no shishya, no guru, no moksha, because there is no bandha. These are the declarations of the dhanya. After having got there, then you say, oh my God, I made a big deal out of feeling bound. What bondage? What moksha? Nothing. It's all gone. If you say that beforehand, then we are in trouble, okay? Because the only way that is there, that also is gone. All right, yeah. Small difference, but big difference. Then there is one more question here. Abhyudaya versus Nispriha Vasana. I don't know what that means. Abhyudaya is a phala. It's a certain kind of it's a technical term for a certain kind of Abhyudaya phala. It is talked about a certain kind of what is that called, rituals. When you do the ritual, Abhyudaya phala, and then Nispriha Vasana. Nispriha means without any desires. Vasana. So the Vasana for Nispriha, I suppose. Yeah, it could, we carry things. Samskaras from many lifetimes are carried. All this is from the same person. Even though Lakshmana left everything and dedicates his life service to Rama, and when Rama says to Hanuman, तुम Mama Bharata Sahi Samabhai. Shouldn't it hurt Lakshmana that Rama loves Bharata more than him, even though he sacrificed and gave all his time to Rama than Bharata? On the same note, the note let us keep aside. Right now, let us look at this one. This, nowhere in the Ramayana, he feels insecure. Who is he? Lakshmana. So from that, we can understand that maybe there is not a problem. Yeah. Maybe he was secure enough to not need accolades, to not need validation. Lakshmana is very amazing actually, very mature person, practical and mature. His wife was also not ordinary. She knew that she also couldn't tag along, because then the whole of Ayodhya would tag along for the Vanavasa. She just said, put me to sleep, literally, yeah. Even before the story of the sleeping beauty came, she was the original sleeping beauty. Yeah, she was sleeping for 14 years. Till they came back, she was fast asleep. He put a spell on her and she went to sleep. It is not an ordinary thing. And so, maybe he did not need that public validation. Bharata needed, not because he was insecure, but because of the guilt of being Kaushalya's son. Not Kaushalya, the Kaikeyi's son, sorry. Kaikeyi's son. He was full of guilt because of what his mom had done, and so he needed some validation, some kind of love. That is what it is. Hanuman also needed that because he was just all bhakti, and bhakti needs a certain acknowledgement. Otherwise, it's a yearning, it's a longing. And so for that longing, and also as an example to all humankind, Lord Rama brings up Hanuman and shows him as an epitome of bhakti, and this is important for mukti. That is what it is. So now, on a related note, let us see what's happening. Why should a wife feel bad that her husband may love his children more than her? Why should a wife feel bad? We should ask the wife. Okay. What else can I say? Okay. Why should a wife feel bad? We should ask the wife, why are you feeling bad? And also, it's not a competition, because the children came from the parents. They are, in a way, an extension of the parents in a way. They are the next generation. So, it's all one, really, and besides, there is no scarcity of love. But if the wife is feeling bad, please bring some flowers and please pacify and please assure her that do what Rama did for Hanuman, okay, and Bharata. You also do that. That will be very nice. Assure her that she is very important and she is very loved. Is Dhanya in Dhanyavada same as the Dhanya in the Dhanyashtakam? If yes, how does that equate to gratitude? As I said in the beginning, the word Dhanya has many meanings. Many meanings. And it also means gratitude, it means fortunate, it means whatever. And the gratitude here it's not really gratitude. It is a completion of the quest. And that is what it is. completion of the quest, and the expression is kritakrityaha aham. So whatever has to be done has been done by me. That is the idea. There's nothing more to pursue. Doesn't mean that I won't do other things, but all the other things are going to be done for just fun or for helping people, not from a sense of pressure for gaining something or the other. That is the idea. I would love to ask your perspective on balancing different approaches to non-dual awareness. How do you see the role of bottom-up therapeutic approaches of meeting parts, inner child, or the parts that feel desire, emotions, etc., versus more direct pointing out methods from Vedanta? How do we know to use one of these approaches? How each can be helpful? Vedanta, first of all, is not top down. First, we have to understand. Yeah. Whereas therapeutic or psychological approaches are bottoms up, number one. Second thing, therapeutic and psychological approaches talk of integration, but they are not a parallel philosophy running of non-duality. This has to be very clearly understood. They are at best an auxiliary sadhana to help one assimilate the knowledge deeper by removing the obstacles in the form of various inner dyads and dualities. So therefore, we should take everything that is offered to us. There is no top down, there is no bottoms up. If there is a problem within, with the inner child and the adult not integrating with one another, this is a problem that was ancient. It is talked about in the Upanishad. Mandukya Karika talks about it. The 8th chapter of the Chandogya Upanishad talks about it. Virojana, the king of the demons, Asuras, is the inner child here. And then he goes along with Indra, who is the adult. And he goes to ashram of Prajapati. But until Virojana leaves, the correct teaching is not given, because it will not be assimilated. The teacher keeps on asking them to do various kinds of meditations and remove errors in their thinking. But if you don't know there is an error, how are you going to remove? Then finally, Virojana, who does not find Vedanta very interesting, gets up and goes away after having concluded body is Atma. Body must be preserved at any cost. He was the founder of the ancient version of the body shop. Yes. And he goes away. After he goes away, then Indra receives the instruction. Then only he receives the teaching. This is all inner child. This is all Vedanta. Where is the top down here? Where is the bottom up here? It's all non-duality. But we have psychology, we have therapy, we have inner child work, we have art therapy, we have journaling, we have prayer, we have so many resources. We have yoga and so many other things. What is that? Sound healing, light healing, color healing, and something else. What is that called? Pranic healing. This healing, that healing, flower therapy. So many things are there. And still they are not enough. That means multi-pronged approach is needed. And even in the Shastra, the same thing is explained. That's why you don't say, should I do inward practices, antaranga sadhana? Or should I do bahiranga sadhana, outward facing practices? Both are to be done. Here also, all the things have to be deployed. Because the duality that we are trying to falsify, the so-called duality that is one is trying to falsify, is not without. It is within, so to speak. It's in one's own awareness. It's in one's own, it's one's own issue. So, this is the teaching. Because if there were no self-ignorance, then the Jagat cannot cause a problem. It doesn't pose a problem. One is not bothered by the Jagat if one is a Dhanya. If one has this knowledge, one is bothered by the Jagat less and less and less. Sthitva gurunapi dukkhena na vichalyate. The person is not stirred up by even the biggest of challenges, difficulties, situations. And to get to that place, a lot of help is there. A lot of help is at hand, and we have to take it. Because it's all dropping of the notions. How to get to the place where I can have a receptive mind, a mind that is free, relatively speaking, to imbibe this knowledge. A reverential mind, because I really want this knowledge, and for that source of that knowledge there is reverence. And a mind that is eager to know this knowledge, that kind of a mind I have to cultivate. To cultivate that kind of a mind, every and any sadhana must be deployed. Must be deployed. So there is no top down, bottom up. It's all one. Okay. In the context of Karma Yoga, what is Ishvara's message when we are struck by illness? Very simple. Take rest, Ishvara is saying. Take a Tylenol and then take rest. See, I was right. Because then the next part of the question says, it feels embarrassing to not be able to act on the things that need to be done. Yeah. That embarrassment is some kind of a old conditioning. It's a conditioning. Or you can say it's an inner child. You can look at that lovingly and say, notice that and let it go. Because right now what is happening? The body is not in a position to cooperate. What are you going to do? Body is not in a position to cooperate. So sometimes this kind of a sickness and any kind of weakness in some families is frowned upon. You have to be always on the go. Go, run, do. And so for such a person raised in this kind of a situation or environment might feel like it's not correct to fall ill, or it is terribly embarrassing to fall ill. But you did not fall ill. It is part of the karma bhala. But the message is very clear. It's very simple. Life is actually much more simple than we make it out to be. two shishyas, two disciples were having a conversation about their gurus. The first shishya said, "You know, my guru is so enlightened." Little competition. My guru is so enlightened that he doesn't need to eat or sleep or go to the bathroom. The other shishya in response said, "My guru is so enlightened that he eats when he wants, he sleeps when he wants, and whenever he wants, he goes to the bathroom." That's how it is. The body is not me, correct? And then if I am sick, if I say I am sick, there is an identification. Not only with the body that is sick, but also with the prana. So the body identification and the pranic identification together are generating this embarrassment. So when that identification, at least if not dropped, at least if it is able to be suspended in the light of this knowledge, if we can even entertain the thought that this is prana, sickness is an attribute connected to what? Prana. Hunger, thirst, sickness, prana. Properties of or belonging to prana. What is prana? Made up of 5 elements. Inert. Having a kind of a law on their own. And also intersecting with a law of karma. This is what it is. And who am I? I am the observer of the sickness. See now, there is nothing embarrassing about saying I am the observer of the sickness. Because I am no longer the sickness, I have washed my hands off. And then what? Now I can be efficient, pragmatic and say, this body, mind sense complex needs to go to bed. I can observe the embarrassment also. Without internalizing it, just observe it. And then it goes away. It's just the ahankara. And what do we know about the ahankara? Vicharam na sahate. That which cannot stand enquiry, like modern day politicians. Yeah. Can't stand enquiry because don't know. Once you conduct an enquiry, you don't know what all is going to come out. Ahankara is like that. As soon as you start inquiring into it, what happens to it? It disappears. And so, these are the ways to overcome that. In the context of developing gunas for the sake of a mind capable of being a receptacle for self-knowledge, how does one avoid rejecting doshas in a way that is counterproductive to gaining a proper mind? The gist of the question is to avoid making errors about how one thinks about and relates to more hardwired aspects of the personality, rejecting loud nature. I don't think I follow this. Let me read it again. Developing gunas to make the mind capable of the knowledge. How to avoid rejecting doshas that are counterproductive to gaining a proper mind. Avoid making the errors of how one thinks and relates to certain aspects of one's personality. Okay, yeah, I think I get the gist of it. So, it's about if there are things, see, first of all, there are things about personality means what? That too is a superimposition upon that which is free of personality. Who is that? You. The personality is a persona. That's why it keeps changing. More or less. It's more or less the same, but there are many changes that happen. And so, if one is a Vedantin, what does one do with the personality? One cultivates Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam, etc., 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 Viveka, Vairagya, Mumukshutvam, for the sake of this, gaining this knowledge. And in the process of gaining, certain things are also what? Dropped. Certain things are dropped because they no longer serve one. And in the process of dropping or letting go of the things that do not serve one, there should not be judgment. You just say it's not serving me anymore. Maybe at one time it was a very good coping mechanism, but then it is not serving me right now. Now it is a moping mechanism. It's no longer a coping mechanism. So I have to let go of it. And I can let go of it. I can thank that, let go of it if it needs to be let go of. I don't know if it needs to be let go of or not, but if it needs to be let go of, I thank it and send it on its way and thank it for having served me so far and say I don't need this anymore. There is no judgment and there is no identification with what is being dropped. Whatever needs to be dropped, I allow to drop. Whatever I need to cultivate, I cultivate. We learn Bhagavan is the doer. How do I best understand it when I have multiple options to choose from while pursuing something? Options are also Bhagavan. Exactly. Everything is Bhagavan. How can options be not Bhagavan? So when pursuing something, how can I discern which may be in line with Dharma and Bhagavan? Dharma is easy. That can be ascertained. In choosing something, if somebody is going to be hurt, then that is not the correct choice. But then Bhagavan is very easy. The Dharma is very easy. You can immediately tell what is there. But Bhagavan also, if everything is Bhagavan, no problem. Choosing where to work, where to live. See, certain choices you have to go ahead and make. Right? Yeah. Even if you went to Bhagavan and asked, where should I live? Bhagavan will say, where do you want to live? Yeah. Choose that. It's okay. So, because the thing is, there is free will. And then we find that we have no problem exercising the free will in our day-to-day life. We are able to do that beautifully without any problem. We are able to exercise free will. We are able to lead our lives. In certain areas, there is a feeling of being stuck. It's not that you don't know what you want. It's not that you don't know what you want to do. But there is fear. There is stress. There is a feeling of, I wish somebody would tell me what to do. Usually the Swami is the collateral, yes. Yeah. Should I build this house or not? Please tell me. Should I get married to this person or not? Please tell me. I did exactly as what you said last time, but it's not working out. What should I do now? Please tell me. That's not what the Swami is for. Swami is just there to have fun. That's all. So that means if there is a problem in certain areas of decision making, that means that there is an obfuscation there. There is something one is not seeing clearly. There is a block. There is insecurity. There is fear of doing the wrong thing, whatever that might be. It appears that the stakes are very high. So therefore, one goes within journals, you do some journaling prompts for yourself and you journal on that. What is the fear? Go to the source of that fear. Look at the fear. Have a cup of chai with that fear. Let that fear abate a bit. And then once you have worked of letting go of the fear, of healing or integrating that fear, then the path to take will be very clear. And sometimes there is no mistake. You don't have to, you don't have to tie yourself up in knots trying to see if you should have rice or chapatis. It's not a big deal. But if we are making it a big deal, then we need to pay attention to whatever is underlying. There is an underlying issue or series of issues that has led to this terrible indecision from the standpoint of the person who is not at all indecisive. Generally, they are able to do this. So in certain areas, where to work, what to do, all these things, that means it's not that one is not equipped to make the decision, one is not wanting to make the decision or is afraid to make the decision. That fear has to be worked with. And then it will become very clear. Mithya in Vedanta, na asato vidyate bhavaha. Yeah, the 18th verse of the second chapter. Na asato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. Meaning, there is a custom that when you start reading this verse, keep a painkiller on the side and a glass of water. And please do not read this verse at 8:30 at night. But basically it means that which is the source of all existence will never come to an end, and that which is non-existent can never be that Sat. Everything else depends on Sat and is an as though creation, projection of Sat. So Mithya doesn't mean false. Mithya means dependent reality. Sat has two definitions. Sat means Sat means this Trikalepi Tishtati, that which is the same in all periods of time. Abadhitam Sat, that which can never be negated is Sat. Mithya also has two definitions. Adhishthana Ananyat, that which is not non-separate from Sat. Wherever there is Mithya, what is there? Sat. Yatra yatra Mithya, tatra tatra Sat. Yatra yatra Sat doesn't go. In Vedanta, everything is annoyingly one way. Yes. And then Adhishthana Ananyat, non-separate from the source, from Sat. Then the second definition is that Mithya has this annoying quality of not being able to say that it categorically say that it exists and not being able to dismiss it as non-existent. Sad asadbhyam anirvachya. That is the definition of Mithya. So Satyam, Mithya, the idea is Mithya is Sat, but Sat is not Mithya. That is what is being talked about in this verse. If it has helped you to sleep, I consider myself fortunate. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhaved, Asato Ma Satgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritangamaya, ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Please stay back for some announcements.